How Long Gone? It is your fearless co-host, Chris Black. I'm in Chicago, Jason, and there's hella snow on the ground, which I was only mentally prepared for.
How else could you really prepare for it? I guess you could.
Physically, I wasn't ready to brace for, like I'm wearing boots, but the step in the snow. This is something you don't experience that much, thank God.
No.
You're lucky.
No, not really. Yeah, I chose not to go to Chicago today, but that's just on me,
In life in general, you've been able to avoid snow by living in Los Angeles, which is, has it ever snowed there?
Not actual real snow. There's been times where I was in elementary school and the teacher will be like, it's snowing, and then everyone screams and runs outside, but then, there'll be one single snowflake that you could watch turn to water in front of your eyes.
Immediately as soon as it touches the ground. But I'm saying so.
Oh, it doesn't make the ground, honey.
I'm staying at an undisclosed hotel that Katie loves. And so the band is staying here. I was like, sure, I'll be a team player. And just to be, Jason, I'm not as much of a snob as you, even though I get a bad rap. But I'm sitting in my room.
Are you a team player or are you a cosplayer?
Both. Depending on the situation, I'm both. I just thought it would be funny, whatever. Mm-hmm. And I get here and I was joking that I needed Jimmy John's for lunch to salve my, my travel day. And this hotel is situated in something I've never seen before. It's almost like they plopped a 3-star hotel in a food court. So I'm looking out the window and it's Five Guys.
Oh, sorry, Five Guys, the restaurant, not just Five Guys.
There's also Five Guys, actually, but they're all in moose knuckles jackets in front of the Five Guys. So we got Five Guys, we got Buffalo Wild Wings, we got Auntie Annie's, we got Starbucks, Jimmy John's, Smoothie King, Panda Express, Schlotsky's Deli, as well as a store I've never heard of before, Scrub Depot, where you get all of your scrubs if you work in the medical field. It's one of the most twisted things I've ever seen.
Scrub Depot.
That's where you found your man. Said over to Scrub Depot.
You a fool for that one. Okay, so that is interesting because whenever we stay in Chicago, whenever you're traveling with me, we like to be over at the Waldorf, and there is a Jimmy John's in the subfloor of that location. Remember?
That's also, you're right, actually, and I did forget that this one I had to traipse outside through a small amount of snow. When I'm over at the Waldorf, you look out the window. Oh, there's the Bottega store. There's the Prada store. There's this and that. Go around the corner. Nice Joe and the Juice. We'll get a little tuna melt. Sorry, Joe and the Juice is that's on Starbucks level. Let's not put Joe and the Juice on the same level as designer stores in the Gold Coast. Let's be respectful. I think
healthy travelers know that Joe and the Juice is a great resource.
Joe and the Juice is one of the worst.
Ask Diplo. Obviously, I don't want to go there, but if it's that or Five Guys, Jimmy John's, Panda Express, or whatever.
Oh, Jimmy John's 100 times.
I know, but
100.
if you want to be a healthy eater, you can go to Jimmy John's.
What's healthy about Joe and the Juice?
You can get smoothies, juices, coffees, alternative milks. You can get protein
those juices don't feel like juice to me, if you know what I'm saying. It feels more like mixers from the club.
No, this shit is Scandinavian in origin. They don't play with that shit, bro.
Hey, it is Scandinavian by blood, and they do not play with that shit, bro.
Show me the lie, bro. Show me the lie.
That's true. I haven't pulled up the Carfax on Joe and the Juice to be
and obviously, fair. Like I said, this is a desperate traveler's resource.
This is when under.
But
duress,
I watched a little interview or something like that with friend of the show Diplo, and he said when he's traveling, that's what he does. He hits a little Joe and the Juice. He can get a little something.
Oh, great! Well,
put something clean in the stomach.
Whatever Diplo's doing is what I want to be doing because he's rich and he stayed out of jail. So I guess I'm going to take a second look at Joe and the Juice.
He eats a lot of avocados for his complexion.
If he would chill out on the run clubs, he'd be the perfect guy. But he just can't help himself. You know what I mean?
Everyone has that one little thing that ruins them.
Totally. I'm not above it. I've been seeing all these year-end lists have been coming out, Jason. They've been trickling out.
Yeah.
It is that perfect combination of things I really like, things I don't like, and things I've absolutely never heard of, which is kind of, that to me makes up the perfect list. I don't know how you feel.
I agree with you on that, but I guess when I was maybe, under 33 years old, the amount of things on those lists that I didn't know were closer to zero than they are now.
Yeah, but I think everything's gotten a little crazier.
What do you mean by that?
I just mean there's a lot more music than there was 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
Yeah, less of the monoculture. When you see the Pitchfork list, you can expect, the standard, the Arcade Fires and your Beach Houses and your this and your that. And then one or two curveballs, like, oh, you did a really freaky Erykah Badu album that nobody ever knew even came out, but they give it number 4, that kind of thing.
Yeah, it feels a little more.
But now it truly is everything, and you have to do one album or one song or one jacket or one book out of every category. There's just too many categories now, huh?
Yeah, there's way too many fucking categories. That's a good way to put it. I've learned about some new stuff, and I've also learned that the passion people have for the band Geese is something that I wish I could inspire in anyone, and I don't think I'm ever going to achieve that in my adult life.
What is it about these Geese, huh? I mean, like I said before, it reminds me of early Radiohead fever.
Yeah, no, I don't know what it is necessarily. I just think that. Also, I saw that somebody was saying Smurs has one of the members of Smurs has a dad that's in NATO. I guess
second NATO reference on the pod this week,
which I wasn't aware of. I didn't do any research on that. I just saw that in a tweet, and I thought that was a pretty funny, like that's not, I don't know what that's supposed to signify. Is that like are they trying to make Nepo claims? Because that's not really, that's a little different.
Yeah, that could be a reverse Nepo, actually. Who knows?
That could work. I mean,
that's something that you'd want to perhaps hide. But I guess I know they're from, I think they're from Copenhagen.
I think they're from Norway. I feel like they're from Oslo, but whatever. They're Scandinavian.
They up in there, so
like Joe and the Juice. They're Scandinavian blood.
Yeah, they're. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know that NATO. Well, I don't know really what they're doing up in there, helping out Ukraine.
I don't know what.
Testing out quantum technologies in Copenhagen. I'm googling.
Smurs dad NATO.
There's a NATO accelerator test site. Don't worry.
Yeah,
you already know what the business is.
Katarina Stoltenberg is the daughter of Norwegian politician and former NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Well,
she said you can have whatever synth you want.
I don't know.
We're not getting a new 808. We're getting the original.
I like it though, because you look at tweets like Sophie Kemp. There's a tweet from a month ago that says, "I love that the girl in Smur's dad controls NATO." You see how quickly? Do you see how quickly this spins out of control?
Yeah.
He's the minister of finance. That's not really. I don't know if that's controlling NATO necessarily, but it's a fun little tidbit.
He's not picking enemies out of the sky.
No. He's definitely at a desk wearing a suit. It's not, but I love that this is what people really choose to get worked up about, and the sort of, also people like to get worked up about the sort of technicality of things, where it's like, well, that was actually released in December of 2024. So can it count? And it's once again,
Meanwhile, Kendrick Lamar is up for Best New Artist this year, and his new record, "Damn," is up for Album of the Year.
Album of the Year once again. "Damn" is coming through. Yeah, I don't really understand how that stuff works, but it reminds me of when like there was a kid in your grade that was a little older than you, because he, the cutoff was sort of pulled out of the. It doesn't really make a lot of sense necessarily, but it has to exist, I guess. Feels similar to that, where I'm not going.
So many things.
I'm not going to judge. I'm not going to judge these rules. I don't make them. I don't work at Stereo Gum or Pitchfork, so I don't really care.
There are no more rules anymore. That's what's dope about media. Let's see here. we're gonna go to war with Venezuela maybe soon, but more importantly, Netflix has a Diddy docuseries coming out today.
I weirdly could not care less about it for some reason.
You're still gonna watch it though.
Nah, I don't think I will. I don't care. I don't really watch stuff like that. Like, I don't care. I watched Kevin Hart's stand-up special because I hate myself.
What?
But yeah, I don't know.
Okay, you don't have a little leg to stand on.
I don't.
Why did you watch that? It's quiet for Lil Kev.
I find him really annoying. I gotta say, he had a pretty good pair of pants on. I was surprised because I didn't know they made him in his size. But it's a nice pair of pants. But no, I don't. It's not funny. I don't know. I just do because that to me, like a Diddy thing from it, like 50 Cent making a spite doc is obviously I respect it from a pettiness level. There's no one better at it, but it doesn't make me want to actually watch it because I don't care what happens. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I don't care what information is there because I don't care about Diddy. I don't really care anymore. It's over.
But during these trying times when we'll watch documentaries about just truly any old bullshit, as long as it's a captivating, well-made doc, we'll watch a documentary about a meth head in Florida who has tigers or whatever.
But that's more captivating because that's not a story I already sort of know. You know what I mean? It's like so out of the blue that it feels like that's why it captures.
I also love it when a story, I don't know how a story is going to end, and we know how the Diddy story is probably going to end based on living in current present time and everything. But hopefully 50 doesn't let us down. I know that there's a NS Variety magazine says an NSFW interview with a gigolo who did freak offs for 8 years. Details
8
his
years, damn, bro.
Details his sexual marathons, paying tribute to Biggie's death.
Whoa! Nothing says pay tribute to my death more like a freak off. All right, we have a guest today. Our Roddy Bottum is joining us. His book, The Royal We, is out now everywhere. You might know him from his musical endeavors. He was in Faith No More. He's put out a bunch of stuff. He's scored a bunch of things as well.
Imperial Teen.
Let's tap in with Roddy and see what's really good.
How are you guys?
We're good. I just sorry I was stuck on the tarmac at beautiful O'Hare. So thank you for being able to adjust by 1 hour. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, no problem. What was going on in Chicago?
I'm here for a show. But I guess there was a plane that just refused to leave its gate. A tale as old as time. But there's snow on the ground, so I feel like I'm in winter mode now. I've switched off. I forgot my earmuffs, but here we are.
So you're in Chicago now, Chris?
That's right. I'm in Chicago as we speak. You can't tell by the depressing low-end hotel decor.
Well, I can tell it's a hotel, but I can't get any city vibe from it. How about you, Jason? Where are you at?
I'm at home in Glendale, California.
Glendale, nice.
Are you in New York?
No, you know where I am? It's crazy. I'm in Provincetown. Do you guys know what that is?
Yeah, we're honorary gays.
Yeah.
Despite our heterosexuality, we are very familiar with Provincetown.
You're aware of Provincetown because it is very gay. For you listeners who don't know, it's the tippity tip of the very end of Cape
Did
Cod,
you have to
which
say
is the
tippity
stretch. Yeah, very, very tip. Just
so
the
so they
end.
get the Cape Cod and they stretch the skin out, and then it just gets to the very tippity tip top.
Yeah, right where there's that slit. It's like at the very end, and it's a very gay town. It's got a very gay history. It's got a very queer sort of heritage to it. It's where a lot of like theater people came, and like in early 1900s, people came up here from like New York City and like.
Hold on, you're telling me there were gay guys in the early 1900s?
Well, yeah, closeted, but they were here. And Eugene O'Neill put on his very first play here. And then there's just a crazy collection of weirdos that come here, like over the course of.
We've been talking about Provincetown a lot because we were told that we should do a How Long Gone show at the Dick Dock.
Oh hell yeah!
And that would be
really good idea.
And then if several people were like, "We'll help you set that up and then get you out of there before sundown." You know what I mean? So everything stays above board.
It's a genius idea. I've seen performances down there. The Dick Dock, for those of you out there who don't know what it is, it's underneath this. It's a literal like space underneath the dock, on the sand at the water, where guys go and get it on. And it's so renowned, and it's so like such.
You want to get it on?
Yeah, you can look it up on Google Maps. Like it's there on Google Maps.
Okay.
Wow, show you where to go.
It comes up as Dick Dock or maybe something else.
The Dick Dock.
That's
the
cool.
Dick Dock, Chris.
I'm glad that Google didn't block that or censor it.
Right?
But you've been enough times, you're able to get to the Dick Dock without having to type it into your Waze or drop a pin, right?
I know exactly.
By smell?
I know exactly where it is, yeah. But it gets so crazy down there. Like, I don't really go there. I have a boyfriend, so I don't really like go there too much. But I have been there before. But my friend was here last summer.
It ain't a crime to look, Roddy. It ain't a crime to look.
Yeah. I mean, I'll go there. I will look.
I go.
But my friend was there last summer, and he was like texting me from there. And I was like, just like, how many guys are down there right now? It was like 11 o'clock at night, like on a Thursday. And he's like, all right, I'm going to walk the course of the Dick Dock and count. And there were over 90 dudes down in there like, getting their dick sucked. 90 men just on a Thursday night.
It was a
that's actually
factory.
overwhelming to the point where I feel like that could turn some users off. Maybe that it's too. It's like going to a movie theater and you can't find a seat. You know,
it's part of that. So many options, though. So many options.
That's a good point. I guess you can go do your shopping.
Yeah, because it reminds me of like obviously the proximity to the water. It reminds me of like the surf report. You know, I got a little cam set up. You know, oh, it's too busy out there. I'm going to wait until later, till it dies down. But maybe in the dick sucking community, it's kind of like a little more people,
more the
better.
The more
like
the merrier.
we're way beyond privacy at this point at the Dick Dock.
For
right?
sure, max it out, and no one's being shy. You know?
No, that is not something your community is necessarily known for. Is shyness.
No, it's a free for all, but it's really pretty here. You guys should come here. Like Provincetown is so great. Over the summer, it's great.
I've always wanted to go, but I guess where do you think I would be the most happy, in Provincetown or Fire Island, based on knowing me for the last 5 minutes? Okay.
Provincetown is more of like it's definitely like you're separated from the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Like Fire Island is very close. You're pretty much still kind of in New York City, and you only get like that demographic, and it's very close, and you feel like, yeah, you're in the city pretty much. Provincetown is very isolated. It's really at the end of the world, so to speak.
You gotta want it.
Yeah.
How long does it take to get there from New York?
I mean, that's the catch, Chris. It's like 5.5, 6 hours drive.
Okay. Can we fly?
I mean, that's Glendale to San Francisco. No biggie.
Yeah. You can fly, but it's like they're tiny little planes. You know, those little like 6-seaters that are so scary.
Roddy, that's how I want to die. So I'm kind of trying to take any opportunity I can to get on something of that size.
Okay.
If
you can do that.
Come up that often. It doesn't come up that often, so I have to take the opportunities when they present themselves.
When you die in a plane crash, when they find out it was headed to P-Town, that's going to be what a heavenly way to die, Chris.
I'm not going to beat the allegations if I die on the way to P-Town.
Oh my God! Yeah, the speculation and the rumors. Where was he going? P-Town. He was on his way to P-Town.
On his way to Well, how you've been going there? I assume for decades.
Not so long. Like I grew up in California, and I moved here in like the East Coast in like 2010, and I started coming up here then. And then like during the pandemic, my boyfriend and I got a place up here, and he started a store up here. So really we come up just for the summer times, basically.
Yeah.
He started a really cute boutique sort of souvenir store here. So
what is he peddling at the boutique? What kind of wares?
He makes shirts and hats and sweatshirts and really tasty like clothing stuff.
Okay.
And he sells it in this really adorable tiny store. It's called the Old Baby. That's really nice. But we come up for just like the summer usually. But we're moving in New York, so we're kind of biding time until the place that we move into in New York is done. So we're up here for the winter, which is kind of a stretch.
You're saying is everything closed type? Like,
oh my God, so fucking tight. It's so boring you can't imagine.
So fucking tight. Yeah, I mean, even the famous restaurant Sal's in P-Town, they famously leave and then come to LA now the last couple of years.
Yeah. Have you been to the one in Los Angeles, Jason?
Yeah.
I've been a handful of times, yeah. She's
You like it?
Yeah. It's a great vibe, you know, just you walk in, everyone knows your name, nobody is straight except me. The martinis are strong, the pasta's flowing, everyone, you know, cash only.
They're cool.
You got a call to make a res. It's a good vibe. I like it a lot.
They're cool. I like those people. Siobhan is the boss woman.
Yeah.
I'm going to say something that I shouldn't, but I want to say it anyway. It's fascinating. It's like a thing over the summer. People who dine at Sal's in the summertime in Provincetown, they don't pay for their meals if they live here.
You mean that's the trade? If you're like a real Provincetown resident,
yeah,
this is your canteen.
Yeah. And for a while we were paying and stuff, and we're like, what's up? But I think we kind of crossed the line, and we're kind of recognized.
Oh, congratulations!
Right
that's
now
big.
as such as locals.
Big. Yeah,
it's huge.
Wow. I mean, I've never paid there thanks to our friends at Purple PR, but it's for different reasons, I guess.
What's that mean? What's Purple PR?
It's just a PR agency that we're friends with, but they happen to represent that restaurant. And our dear friend Stevie, who's probably listening to this right now, is always generous with inviting us over for, fabulous birthday dinners and things like that over at Sal's.
Damn. Okay, bragger.
I mean, you're bragging too. We're both getting free clamps, just two different ways to get there,
I
brother.
know, but I feel like mine is kind of earned. Like I earned the status of mine. What's the purple PR? What's the benefit? How are you? What are they? How do you get that?
I'm a
I
mic.
want this.
I'm a micro influencer, Roddy. So when I go there, I'll talk about it on this beautiful podcast. Post a photo on my Instagram.
Someone's getting paid. It's just not us or the restaurant. You know what I mean? It's
No, it makes sense.
Yeah, I want to know how you, a homeowner, is able to go into a small local business and refuse to pay them money. What's up with that, Roddy?
You're right. I'm really honestly, it's just on the coattails of my boyfriend and his store.
well, he's a
basically.
small business owner in the area as well.
Yeah.
So it feels like
Because this happened because we went together and we got like the treatment. And it was so great. And then I went again later by myself.
they forgot your ass, didn't they? They didn't know who you were.
Nothing. Nothing.
Imperial tea, nothing? Okay.
I like your guys' podcast. I'd never heard it before. I started listening to it after we talked, Chris. I've listened to a bunch of episodes. It was really fun.
Oh, great! I'm sure you had some friends in the mix, probably over the
I
years.
did. I started out listening to theirs, but then I really like the two of you talking is really fun. You guys have a good chemistry.
Hey, thank you. See, you're a real head. Thank you for saying that. That's important.
Do you guys fight a lot or you get along just like famously all the time?
We don't fight. We've never gotten in a fist. We've never gotten in a fist fight, actually, which is good for both of
Well, I
us.
didn't mean that, but is there any like passive aggressive behavior or anything like that? Or,
Oh yeah, definitely. Jason's the king of
Oh,
passive
wow.
aggressive. You should ask his wife about it. I thought I got it bad, and then he got married.
I'm a bomb dropper.
That's cool.
I'm.
But I like your conversations. It's really fun to like tap into like people who are friends and are just chatting. It's really fun to sit on the sidelines of that. Like I did listen to a bunch of like guest shows, that were fun. But then I kind of like, I like your camaraderie. I like the talk between the two of you. Yeah.
Thank you, thank you. That's it's a funny. That's usually what our friends tell us, or people that we respect.
Right.
tell us that.
Yeah,
They
and
prefer that.
also people like to listen to a podcast just to kind of turn off their inner dialogue and all the stuff they got to worry about every day. And I have more fun listening to two people just bullshit and chat about whatever they're doing. It could be I went to the gas station and whatever versus like interviewing somebody. It's kind of the same thing every time.
I think so too. Like I don't care much for an agenda, but I do love a cozy place.
Mm.
And you guys are creating that.
Yeah.
We're gonna steal that. How long gone? A cozy place.
It's
That's
an
nice.
agenda-free,
No,
cozy
here's the whole line.
place.
Not an agenda, ... A cozy place. You're welcome.
That's a
Ooh.
freebie. That's a freebie. Thank you for that.
For our 3 sold out nights at the Dick Doc, that's going on the poster. Those are limited edition silk screens.
You guys, that is such a fun idea, though. Doing it at the Dick Doc would be monumental.
Okay, we're gonna. You know what? We're gonna make this happen. We're gonna make it happen.
Dude.
I have some personal hang-ups that I'll run by you. As two straight guys going there, is this performance art? Is it gay baiting? Could it be taken
As appropriation or something?
The wrong way.
Yeah.
by some people? Obviously, I think it'll be most people. It's like funny to just watch a couple of guys hang out and interview some people, and we have an open mind. It's all good. But I've experienced some people who are a little bit turned off by.
I can see that. I could go there. But also, if you like embrace it and you have like a couple gay guests and you're in the mix, that's fine.
Of course.
Yeah.
course.
Also, Jason, if they don't like it, they can go fuck themselves. I mean, if I don't, I don't think it's I understand I understand where you're coming from, but at a certain point, it's like we're having fun. We gotta have fun.
I like your attitude.
You're the first person to ever say that, so thank you.
Really?
He has a notoriously awful attitude, so yeah, it is kind of like that.
So where are you moving in New York? Just a new apartment, same neighborhood? Or are we switching the game up?
A new apartment. No, we were in the West Village for a long time. I've been there for almost 15 years. I was on Jane Street. You know where the Jane Street Hotel is? The Jane Hotel.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Right across the street from there, I lived for a long time. And there's this big parking lot next to our building that's been sort of this big, like, empty space between where I lived and the West Side Highway. And it's been dreamy for 10 years. And they started building a high rise in that space. And I have the top floor of my building. So I have the rooftop, which is nice. And it's not just the view that's getting taken away from me, like by this high rise, but it's the aggression of the build is insane.
The aggression of the build that's what I'm trying to achieve in the gym, so I get it. But I know this happened to me on Broome Street too. It's fucking crazy how like
It's so loud
cranes
and
just
noisy, and the dust, and just like so many things. And it just like I never thought I would move from that apartment, but I just kind of like I don't know. Once we made the decision, like, you know what, we could move from here. It just kind of all fell into place. So we're moving to Great Street, Bond Street between Lafayette and Bowery, which is amazing,
Wow,
and it's gonna be
damn.
really
I
nice.
like this. I'm glad that you live in the. I'm really glad you didn't say some fucking far flung part of Brooklyn. I'm happy.
Yeah,
That
who's
you're,
your boyfriend? Bond Street? Okay.
No way, man. That's all me. Joey is my boyfriend, but he had his eye on Bond Street for a long time. We kind of always look at real estate stuff, and just this crazy old weird loft went on the market where this woman lived, a painter, and she passed away like 3 years ago, and her kids own the space, and they were looking to get rid of it. And it's a big empty space that we kind of have to build up, but it's really beautiful. It's on that street. That street is so
this is the
nice.
New York. This is the New York dream. I don't know what you.
I know.
Well, I just remembered
Yeah,
Daddy got Apple stock early, right?
Daddy did. Did you read the book?
I did not read the entire thing, but I did pull. I did a large skimming, and I have a lot of the large moving pieces. So
It's funny that that's one of the pieces that you would pull, the Apple stock.
say no if it's too much. But are you able to say what year and how much Apple stock you bought?
Well, I'll tell you, yeah, I will. The guys, to your listeners, are talking about in my book. I wrote a book, and the book is very revealing. There's a lot of stuff in the book that is insane.
It's a memoir style book.
It's a memoir
But
style book.
it's more than a memoir style book. There's so much that I
You
reveal.
busted wide. Daddy
It
busted
really
wide
is
open. He
crazy.
busted
Like I
wide
talk
open.
about like having sex with older men in the bushes when I was like 12 years old, just for starters.
We're gonna get into all that.
Yeah. I mean, we can get into all that. But one of the things that
I've got my bullet points. Don't worry.
Jason is talking about. Like, so I was in the band Faith No More, and we had toured for a long time. And we just toured in the van and toured in the van and toured in the van. And we didn't make any money for a really long time. That's just the way that it went. And at one point, we started to get a tiny bit of notoriety. And one Christmas, we each got a check. Like we had finished our tour and we were going back on tour like soon after, but we each got a check, each of us in the band for $12,000, which this was like 19, I don't know, like maybe 91 or something. I'm not good with years, but it was really a lot of money at the time, $12,000. And I had this insane boyfriend at the time who was it's kind of a crazy backstory, but like we all were just like crazy scrappy kids in San Francisco with dreadlocks, bicycle messengers, pot smokers. We were just hooligans basically. And we were very provocative kids. And one of the things that we did in that era, just to fuck with people, was we would watch the stock market just because it was the most outlandish, crazy behavior of kids in that sort of realm doing that. Like you'd even imagine, like, what are these kids doing? What? And we would like talk about stocks.
Okay, so you were talking about stocks while like squatting, so it felt like counterintuitive.
So there's people walking around with like crass patches and just like full San Francisco crust punk,
Exactly.
like lighting shit on fire, crazy street
Yeah.
art, taxidermy,
Yeah.
murder, all this stuff, and you're like,
Survival research laboratory,
Right.
so much shit. And we would like just to provoke and fuck with people, we would talk about, yeah, did you hear like yeah, Microsoft is really doing pretty good this quarter. Like just to fuck with people. But anyway, that's where we were as kids, just provocateurs. And so when I got that $12,000, the boyfriend that I had at the time was like, just buy Apple stock with it. Like, you're not going to do anything with the money anyway. We were living together, me and the boyfriend, and we were going on tour soon. And we kind of had enough money to take care of ourselves when we went on tour. So I just bought Apple stock at that point, $12,000 worth.
you put it all, you put it
Oh.
all.
Then, yeah. I put it all in Apple stock. And that was like 1990. So I don't know. I would ... let the listeners get out their calculators and figure it out. But
Okay, the December 31st, 1991 year-end closing price of Apple stock was 40 cents per share.
But also, Jason, it's split a bunch of times, so I'm not even really
Yeah,
sure
it split a bunch of times.
how
Yeah.
accurate.
Right now it's at 285, and then I know it's split many times.
Of all the things you could have done with that money at that age, I am shocked that this joke worked out as well as it did. I'm really happy for you.
Isn't it insane? It's so wild. Like, I don't feel bad bragging about it because it's such an outlandish, crazy story. It's like winning the lottery. It's like, how did that even like? I mean, a lot of my things in my life have happened in that same way, but that particular instance was so insane. And when I was writing my book, a lot of people, like my boyfriend, was like, "Are you sure you want to put that in the book?" And even the publishers were like, "Are you sure you want to reveal that?" I was like, "Yes, I do. I want to reveal that." It's such a crazy thing.
Yeah, it's a fun story. I don't know. It's not like it's. I don't.
Also, I just checked. Apple stock has split a total of 5 times. So, I would say you could do the math because I can't on how all that works. But it kind of reminds me of the artist David Cho and his Facebook stock. Do you know that story?
No.
He traded his bad art for stock.
They hired him to paint a mural in the Facebook offices like very early days, and they said, we'll give you, $5,000 or we can pay you in stock. And he just took stock randomly. And I think he became maybe like 100 millionaire from that.
It happens so rarely, and it's like winning the lottery. That's why I kind of felt like fine about talking about it. But it's one of those things. It really just changed my life.
I love that.
Are you still active in investing and things like that?
I don't really invest, honestly, Jason. I just have that stock. I have that Apple stock still. I've chipped away at
I just spend.
And I bought like an apartment in New York at one point, and just stuff like that. But I don't really do stock stuff. And honestly, I really wasn't so into stock back at the time. I was posing a little bit when I was like, talking stock.
This is the best case scenario, to make that much bread and be like, you know what? I don't need to do this again. I'm good. Like, I don't need to play the market. I figured it out once. That's the best I'm going to do.
For a while, I remember I was like, oh, I'm going to get Pepsi stock because know why? Pepsi owns Taco Bell, and I love Taco Bell. But that didn't really pan out.
They do say only buy stock in things that you support, that you love.
Yeah.
That's why I lost my house on American Apparel, but here we are.
Oh, you did?
No,
were you an investor in
No, I'm joking.
No, it's funny because my wife's dad has like a little bit of investing rule of thumb. Like if you invest in a company with America in the name, the chances of it ever, completely shutting down, going bankrupt are low because the government will bail out American Airlines or, any of these larger companies. But then American Apparel is the exception to the rule.
That's interesting.
Dove couldn't get that bailout.
Dove could get it from Trump, but he couldn't have gotten it back when he needed it.
Is that dude involved in the new American Apparel or no?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Did
we talk about this? We went into the store because they reopened the store on Broadway, and it's in the old Top Shop. It's fucking huge. It's unbelievable. Like if you go in there, you're just sort of like, I can't. It's exactly the same. Like, but the scale is so large and the furnishings are so cheap that it doesn't feel like as sexy as it did, obviously, the first time around. But the product is good. Like, the actual product is good.
They make a fine t-shirt.
The product was always good. We always liked that, didn't we?
Yeah, everybody. Oh, yeah. I don't know any person that's, like, from our general age group and world that didn't wear American Apparel.
That didn't. From a band perspective, too, I remember, like, for a while there, we were all like, oh, yeah, we only use American Apparel for our merch stuff.
Exactly. It's just the right thing to do.
It's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Support men.
It felt like it at the time. I like their briefs, too, were super sexy. I don't know if you guys ever went there, but I like their briefs.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, what colors were we using for our briefs, Roddy?
So many. There were so many. There was like a lavender that was really fetching. There was a light brown that was so pretty.
What are we wearing now, then? Are we wearing Calvin Klein? Are we traditional, or do we...
No, I'm like boxer guy. I will either go Ralph Lauren boxer or Sunspell boxer. How about you guys?
Sunspell's a really good boxer. My wife works at Calvin Klein, so I'm obligated to wear Calvin Klein.
Oh, nice.
I wear Arc'teryx underwear.
Oh, I don't know that brand. I mean, I know what they are, but I've never seen their underwear. Is it a boxer brief?
Boxer brief, yeah.
It's a. I would say they're not known for the boxer brief, but it's a sleeper hit.
I just happen to enjoy them. They just fit me perfectly. It's great.
They're kind of expensive, right?
They're like $30-$40 a pair.
I guess that's kind of what everything costs now. Tim wears the Turnbull and Asser. I mean, if you want
it's on the higher end for sure.
Charvet, Turnbull, and those like cotton ones for $150. It's a little,
Also, Roddy, Skims. Don't sleep on Skims. Kim Kardashian's underwear company. They make a lot of great,
not for men,
low-profile boxer briefs. No, they do.
Yeah,
they do.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It's kind of new. They're one of our sponsors. The good people at Skims.
They'll come for anybody. They'll come for anyone. Men, women, children. Non-binary.
We'll try to get a 3-pack over to the house, okay, Roddy?
I would love it, but time out. Is Skims really one of your sponsors?
That's right. Yeah.
That is amazing. Good work, guys. That's so cool.
Hey, thank you. Thank you.
I don't even know what to say to that.
It's we've accomplished so many of our goals, and when you check Skims off,
I think it's because Skims accomplished all of their sales goals in the women's department. So they said, we're leaving this money on the table. So, male-centric podcasts are a good way to sell that.
Well, they also gave millions of dollars to the NBA, which is probably
and Post Malone has a pair of Realtree camo skim underwear as well, I think.
I could see you in some Realtree.
I might go there.
You might go there.
I might go there. I don't know. I'm not super Kardashian at this specific moment, but I would try it.
Are you saying you've gone through phases where you love them and now you're at a low point?
Well, season 4 was season 4.
Yeah. I mean, where she seems to be right now, Kim specifically, is a little bit odd for me. The Trumpy connection is a little bit weird. I do like the show, though.
The show's amazing.
We started watching the show. Oh, my God. All of our friends, the whole my gay community is like, it is the worst. Like,
yeah, it's awesome.
You cannot believe how bad. It is so good. Right? Oh, sorry. I don't mean Meet the Kardashians. I mean the Ryan Murphy show.
Oh, both of them are bad. The Ryan Murphy show is unbelievable. Unbelievable levels of bad, like to the point where
see, not for me. I love it.
She just came out and said that she's having brain problems. She's like her the frontal lobe is not firing the way it should. I don't know if you saw this. So people think it's a setup for some sort of new product they're going to release, like a vitamin or.
I think she's trying to get a little bar exam, a little side.
Because she's failed the bar exam a couple times.
I thought she passed. I thought she passed the bar exam.
Unfortunately, no. She's not licensed.
If she fails a third time, I think that's 3 strikes you're out, or at least she has to wait another.
I think
you
you have to wait a little
bit.
Yeah, I think you have to wait a little bit.
A number of years before you can do it. So maybe she's like getting the brain scans and saying like, I'm gonna come to come to the bar with a note from my doctor.
Next time I have an off podcast, I'm gonna come back and have a note from my doctor where I had an MRI and be like, "Look, there's a hole in the front of my brain, so I wasn't."
Give me half a bar. I could do so much with just half a bar.
That's funny though. I agree. Maybe she's onto something. Maybe she's gonna do something with vitamins.
Well, she did that photo. She famously did the photo shoot with Elon's robot. And was clearly in the bag.
She's done a lot of robot stuff.
So there could be some. Yeah, I feel like there's going to be something in the robot vitamin brainwave.
Elon does the Neuralink. What if Kim Kardashian is the first person to have a hole drilled in her skull, and then having Elon's microchip inserted?
It's not out of the question.
I can pass the bar.
Or some sort of mushroom. Something maybe might be in the
reishi
and
lion's mane are in play. Absolutely,
there's definitely some lion's mane in play.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to go back a little bit to the early LA days. I know you were born in LA and then moved when you were a teenager to San Francisco. A little pull quote that I pulled, you mentioned Los Angeles is a horrible place for a child. And do you still feel that way? Or has it gotten worse?
It was kind of a cheeky way of writing about Los Angeles, but like when I moved out of Los Angeles when I was like 17, I was so over it. Like growing up in that environment with like what I was saying in the book was like day after day after day of sun and the mundanity of that, and also coupled sort of with the entertainment industry and just sort of this allure of what's Los Angeles is to the rest of the world in terms of like entertainment. And like back when I was a kid, it was like tan and pretty and blonde. It was just like couldn't be further away from where I wanted to go with my life as a young 17-year-old. And I was trying to sort of embody that sort of like mind ethic when I was writing about Los Angeles. I love Los Angeles and I go there still, but wow, Los Angeles is super dark right now. You know? I spent some time there just recently, just a couple weeks ago. I was there. I did my book thing there. And it's sort of like, I feel like it's sort of like creeping a little bit out of the darkness, but like just so much has happened. The fires, and I was there specifically when the ice thing was kicking off, and that started. And it was just like, wow.
Hmm.
I mean, we've experienced so many decades of Los Angeles just being this place of glory, and especially, people in New York, they love to talk about how like people have moved to Los Angeles and just like the benefits of that. Oh, it's so great. There's so much space. And it's just so, but the classic line, it's just so easy. It's just so
And the
easy. And
produce.
suddenly we're in this era right now where it's not. It's really, really dark. Like the homeless situation is just so intense, and the ice thing is so fucked up. It's I yeah. What I'm getting to say, I think, is just like Los Angeles right now deserves our compassion.
Mm,
That's where I'm coming from,
thank you.
and I do love it. My best friends are there, and I still love it there. But
But
it's
doesn't every city go through this, kind of the ups
I
and
don't know.
downs?
Like Los Angeles
Like, I
had
mean, you
ups
you lived
higher
in
than any other ups. Like
that's
people
probably
always
true.
regarded it as just like this mecca. So it had that, and the downs where we are right now is really, really low. You got
Yeah.
to admit, Chris.
But no, I agree with you. You lived in like Jason we always talked about this a lot. Jason really romanticized San Francisco growing up, and you lived there arguably during the heyday of when it was the coolest place in the world. And it had a terrible phase, and now people are considering it on the upswing again.
Yeah,
And it's like sort of, thanks to the AI money, et cetera, it's coming. But I just feel like this is the natural progression of cities. But what you're saying is LA had a longer run as sort of Pleasantville.
Yeah, like you're like every city has a lot of problems with homelessness as well as ICE, Austin, Chicago, Miami, blah blah blah. But LA as well, but they were so highly esteemed and regarded, whereas Austin maybe less so.
I think so. My
So it was
perspective
a
too.
mightier tumble.
I have a family perspective in Los Angeles too. And when I go there, I will stay with my sister. She has kids, and all the kids are like in their 20s or like kind of like later teenage years, and they're super like I love them all, but they're very involved in the politics of Los Angeles right now. Like one of them works for the union that represents day workers. They're very much like on the front line of sort of like fighting Trump and fighting the
Hmm.
this,
So your sister's rich, is what you're saying.
well, no, I mean they get by. That's another problem in itself. Like her husband is like works for the entertainment industry, and they're having problems because
Yeah,
that
yeah, that's
too. Like
real.
all of that, they've lost like their source of income. But anyway, my point
Yeah.
was like the kids. Like when I go there and I stay there, like I'm surrounded by those kids and their energy of teenage energy, and it's so intense. Like the way that they're dealing with Los Angeles in its darkness is really just like wow,
Hmm. Hmm.
so much
It's
drama,
really affecting them.
and it affects me.
Your ability to relax in Los Angeles.
Kind of, yeah.
We need a little more anarchism with our young people, I think.
Yeah, they're committing anarchy. They're paying $22 for a smoothie. That's anarchism in its own way. Wearing your Chrome Heart sweatpants while protesting is its own way of
Starting off early, being born till 17, you said, in Los Angeles, have
Yeah.
been back many, many times over the years, I'm sure. Back in the 80s, in the heyday, what were the best cruising spots in Los Angeles, if you remember them?
I would take my bike and ride up to Griffith Park.
Hmm.
Like, do you know where Trails is? Have you ever been there?
Of course.
oh yeah.
Known for a veggie sandwich.
Yeah. Right across from Trails, there's a tiny little pond, and there's a whole scene in my book that I talk about. Like when we went up there, like as kids, we would ride our bike up there and just like go to the hills and smoke pot. And we were super young. We were probably like, I don't know, 13, 14. And we got up there and we were around that little pond right across from Trails. And for some reason, there was a body in the pond, which is insane. We discovered this body that was in the pond.
Like Law and Order style?
Kind of, yeah.
Was the body jacking off or was it floating?
It was floating. It isn't really
Got it.
connected to the cruising, but
Sure.
in those initial days when I
Paints
would
a
go up there
picture.
on my bike, I
Was
would
the body?
I would see men like up in the bushes. And as a young person, I was like, oh, I couldn't get on my bike fast enough and go back quick enough to sort it out. So up there, right around there, like
Sort it out.
higher up into the hills, like right up from where Trails is, there was a lot of cruising up there.
Mhm.
And then kind of around where the tennis courts are, in Griffith Park, and the other where the 5 is, like at Los Feliz Boulevard.
Yeah, this is unfortunately the two places that I recognize the most from my time in Griffith Park. So I don't know what that says about me.
Somehow interesting how those things line up.
I don't know.
Chris?
That's where Jason taught me to hike. Where to hike is that's where we
Good
would enter-
diversion. Flip it on to me. That's smart.
It's just like your fascination with P-Town.
How was your Sherpa?
No, it's just funny that of all the places to name, I have spent no time in that park except at those tennis courts and parking the car across from trails to go on a hike. Those are the only two places.
We do have an aesthetic eye, don't we? And,
That's
as
true.
well as some other people.
That's true.
But those places, that really doesn't exist so much anymore. Like you were saying, the 80s, and really much specifically, like those places were very cruisy. You know where else was cruisy, which was crazy at nighttime, like down on Melrose, in between, like I want to say, like Fairfax and Martell, sort of on Melrose Boulevard. Like there was this kind of, I guess it was an adult bookstore. It was called Drake's. It was on the south side of Melrose.
Okay.
And for some reason, there was just a hub around that. And guys would just get in their cars and just drive around the block and cruise each other. That was a really heavy scene back in the 80s.
So for some reason, the sex shop got people horny, is what you're saying.
In a shocking revelation.
Okay, so just anywhere near there, you just drive your car around. Because I remember, like when I first came to LA, you would see all these signs up in some neighborhoods, Silver Lake and things like that, and there would be signs that said "No cruising." And
yeah, exactly.
and when I first moved there, I assumed that it was like a anti-Mexican, like lowrider type of initiative, like don't have all the gangsters rolling their cars cruising down the boulevard. I had no idea that it was like there was so much cruising happening that they had to put up signs like "Stop chugging cock here, guys. Now go on and get."
I kind of thought that too. That
it could be
I
both.
thought it was like older car choose. It could be both, but right around there where the signs were up, Jason, was a bar called Cuffs. And Cuffs was sort of
name.
like right
wow,
where.
that is amazing.
That's good. It really walks
Cuffs,
that line.
I know, really good. Gay bar names are so good. But it's across from. I think it's across now from where maybe there's a spin studio right across the street. You know where that is on like Hyperion?
Yeah.
But it was right across the street from there, and it was a dingy little club, and it was super like charged, like so cruisy, so much fun. Like there was a man in there who was like he was like a constant. He was always there, and he'd just sit on a stool, and he had a big wooden paddle. And guys would come by, and they knew what his deal was, and they come and they just like lay over his lap, and he'd go at him with a wooden paddle.
Wow.
That was just one of the many scenarios that was going on in Costa.
He'll give you a little Werther's original afterwards.
I mean, it stayed open late. It stayed open till like, I don't know, like 4 a.m. It turned into an after hours thing, and they'd shut the door, and then guys would get really crazy.
God, when I used to go to bars, there'd be a guy sitting there all the time, but he was just the coke dealer. There was no paddle involved. I would have taken a couple spankings. If
How
you
bad do you want the bag, brother?
Yeah. Let me get a gram for 30 if you
read that
give me a couple smacks. Yeah.
Isn't that funny though? The guy with the paddle, like what the hell?
It reminds me of the. Do you remember the guy that would roll himself up in a carpet and then go to bars because he got off on people walking on him? I think it might still sort of happen. It's not that old. Have you seen this, Roddy?
I've never heard of such a thing. Is it a gay thing or a straight thing?
I think it transcends. I've never seen the guy. Like, it literally just looks like a rolled up, carpet or Persian rug just at a bar.
That sounds kind of straight.
It does feel kind of straight. I think he likes it more when women walk on him than men. You know what I mean?
Right. It's kind of like, it feels a little lazy and unimaginative, but hell, he's getting his.
But imagine how hard it is. You have to go to a club or a bar and be like, hey, is it okay if I bring in this 12-foot Persian rug, roll myself up like a Chiquito, create a massive fire hazard, and a cause of injury for multiple people, and I just want people to walk on me. I'll give you no money.
That's wild.
I'm not going to buy any drinks. I like it.
I don't not like it.
Hopefully he's hard in there the whole time. I wanted to see if enough time has passed. You're a wise man. Are you able to defend white dreads at this point in your life?
Not really. It was a real stretch back then. But when I was a kid, I'd never seen it before. It was uncharted territory.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know where we went. Like us as kids, Jason is talking about viewers, listeners. Like when Faith No More started, we all like had dreadlocks for some reason. And we were white kids with dreadlocks. And to make it even more complicated, which is like difficult for me, but like we were really into like the Last Poets at the time, this sort of Black revolutionary sort of word speak group that were very political. And so there was a deep kind of like embarrassingly like weird appropriation of that kind of culture that I don't feel great about, but that's what it was. That it was a different world, and that's where we were. But in
It
that
was.
context, yeah, straight like white kid dreads are a little triggering for me.
I think the original iteration that you're speaking of, early 90s, it had a little like cyberpunk hacker feel to it there, and a little bit of like a techno kind of industrial feel to it as well. I know like Nine Inch Nails and Ministry and bands like that had one or two dreadlocked members in it, typically, right?
For sure. It turned into that for sure. And even before that, I think it was like you brought up Crass before. I think Crass had sort of a sense of that too, like in real, like sort of
Oh
like
yeah.
scroungy, like kind of like squat.
It was very popular.
Yeah,
It
you
was
can
very
white people can
communal.
have dreads, but they have to earn it in a crass kind of way.
Yeah.
It can't be in a Ross Trent kind of way, Andy Sandberg, or a guy going to a Fish concert who goes to Yale with the white dreads. That one doesn't click. But if the hair is dreading because you live on a train, I think we can excuse it, right?
I think so. But anyway, it's triggering for me still.
Sure. Naturally. So after you moved to San Francisco, 80s, 90s, I've always thought of, like Chris was saying earlier, when I was in high school, late 90s era, I heard all these rumors that it was like the best place to go paint graffiti. And I heard that like on Sundays, the police wouldn't really enforce graffiti, and you can just kind of go and paint in the daytime and, sort of do non-violent crimes, and the city would just kind of be okay with it. How lawless was the Bay Area when you first got there?
I don't know what you're speaking of, the pink graffiti. That's fascinating to me, though. But like when we got there, it was, yeah, it felt like that. It felt definitely lawless. And a big element of it was the bicycle messengers. And I was a bicycle messenger for a long time. And that was
Oh.
just such an insane realm of kids. Like there was a lot of dreadlocks in that crowd and just mohawks and attitude. And it was just like, crazy pirates out on the street on our bicycles, and we would just like fuck with everybody. There was this one area where we would sort of like camp and smoke pot and smoke cigarettes and fuck with the businessmen. It's called the Wall. It was on Sansom down at Market, and it was like this long stretch, and all the bicycle matches, the messengers, we would meet there and just like fuck with people.
It's still like no, it's still there, and it's still where bike messengers go. Like that,
Is
I've
that
walked by
true?
that. I've walked by that a million times. I mean, it maybe not now, but I would say at least 5 years ago for
Right.
sure. Yeah, because I had a roommate who was a bike messenger in Atlanta when I was growing up, and I was always fascinated with it because it seemed like he made a lot of money. Because, and correct me if I'm wrong, is it a per delivery? Is that how you make money? Like every package you drop off, you're paid. So the faster you are, the more money you make.
Yeah, for sure. It was commission.
Yeah.
Um, but so much fun too. Like we had walkie talkies, and we're screaming in the streets. That for sure had a real lawlessness to it. But that's surprising me to me, Chris. There's still. Do you think are there still bicycle messengers?
I'm sure.
Definitely less, but they exist.
Yeah, but I feel like in San Francisco, it's still faster at this point than a car. You know what I mean? With traffic and shit, it's still
Yeah,
faster.
same as I see it in New York as well, a decent amount. Simply for the reason that a person who's really good on a bicycle can get around that city faster than somebody in a car.
Yeah.
Just straight up. Depending on how much of a pirate you are and how willing you are to, violate traffic laws and things like that.
When's the last time you got on a bike?
I still ride a bike every day, but like, it also there's. I'm thinking there's probably things that have to be delivered, like physical things, like maybe art things that like can't be like sent digitally.
Large blueprints, I see a decent amount.
Yeah,
During your era, wasn't it like legal? Like, wasn't it like legal documents that would be going from building to
absolutely.
building? So I mean, yeah, that's you can't put that in an Uber, really. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that I don't know what the fastest way is.
That's how I lost my job. Like I was moving something. I don't even know what the company Bechtel was, but I was moving. I was delivering something to Bechtel. Do you know what that company is?
No.
No.
I don't know. Back then they were really evil, like conglomerate. I don't even know what they were. But I was delivering some court case negatives, I remember, and I had them in my pouch, in my bag. And you weren't ever supposed to leave your stuff in the bag on your bike for this very reason. And I took my bike home and I remember I like went upstairs and I was watching TV, smoking pot, and I just left the stuff in the bag outside and put it in my house. And it got stolen. And it
Sure.
wasn't so much like the bike. It wasn't my bike that mattered, but it was the court case like negatives that I had lost.
Because
That
the
I
negatives are at that point, that's a one of one situation. There's maybe not a copy of
exactly.
those lying around. Okay.
And also, I just googled Bechtel Corporation, an American engineering, procurement, construction, project management company, one of the most closely guarded, secretive multinational companies in the world.
I
So,
fucked
I
them
mean,
up,
you
didn't
lose
I?
some negatives, you might not. Yeah, you might wake up in a pond. You lose those negs.
Yeah. So I lost my job as a result of that one, and then I never went back.
You moved on.
What kind of were you a fixed gear daddy?
No, we had. I don't think there were fixies back then. That hadn't happened yet. I mean, there were, but they were really
Pussy.
old school. Yeah, we
Just kidding.
used gears for sure.
Well, there's a lot of hills up there. A lot of hills up there.
And the hills. I still don't know how those fixies work too. So how does like do you ride one of those, Jason?
When I was a teen graffiti enthusiast, well into my 20s, I was a fixed gear rider every day. My main means of transportation. I still ride, but it's a single speed now.
So I've never understood this about fixies. Can you clear this up for me, please? Like if you want to stop,
hmm
there's no brake.
You start pedaling. You start pedaling backwards. You put your foot on the ground, or you put your foot in the tire and try to go down from there.
But Jason, is it like the bikes that we had as children where like we had one gear bikes and we would like reverse the pedals and that would put on the brakes? Is it like that or is it different?
It's different. That's a coaster brake where if you
Uh,
pedal backwards, it just turns into a literal brake system. This is you pedal the cranks backwards and then the wheel starts rolling backwards. You pedal forwards, it starts rolling.
oh,
So
right.
when you're going fast down a hill and you start pedaling backwards, it doesn't really work. You have to like jump up and skid or do some other stuff. So you're not able to
It's for hot dogging. It's for hot dogging.
you're not able to slow down quickly.
The only reason to do this is to hot dog. It's not practical in any way.
It's like soul surfing. You feel everything in the road. You become really truly one with the machine. It is a amazing feeling actually. But
People
it's
swear by
dangerous.
it. It seems so psychotically dangerous though,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but people ride
absolutely.
motorcycles every day. One of the things I can't wrap my head around.
Yeah.
The danger level. I'm just like, why on earth would you do that?
Why would you do that? I did that for years and years. I had a motorcycle, but like I see motorcycles these days and like think the same thing. Like, why would you even go there?
I would rather do drugs. I would rather get
Yeah,
as close as I can. If I'm going to die, I want to die in a plane crash or from
I
drugs.
know. Talk about risks. Motorcycling is just like that's a death wish.
I really have never understood it.
Even with the helmet.
Call me a pussy, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I think now that the helmet laws are in effect for bicycles, they had to remove the brakes, or else you would feel, it was one thing or another. Before helmets were for pussies, and now brakes are for pussies.
Hmm.
It's just something to think about there, my friend.
I do want to talk about heroin a little bit.
Sure, I love talking about heroin.
I say me and you both, King. What in your time it was only baseline risky, right? Because it was like this is pre like fentanyl, this is pre, so you had to like it was like a real man's OD is what I'm trying to say. You had to just do too much if you were gonna have a problem.
Yeah, I don't think there was ever a case of like a bad batch or something, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
And
yeah,
definitely there was no fentanyl. Like that was never an issue.
hmm
It didn't feel safe. It felt dangerous
yeah.
and felt risky and it felt like you were definitely like fucking with, something really serious. I mean, just the word heroin
Yeah.
is so laden with just like this
Sends a
heavy.
chill down your spine.
It really
It
does.
still is kind of like that too. I
It
still
still
think it's
is.
pretty forbidden.
And also, like, what kind of crazy person like puts a needle in their arm? That's a crazy place to
Well,
go.
that's what I was gonna ask you. Like did someone do it for you the first time, or did you do it yourself?
Someone did it for me the first time.
Yeah.
I'm not going to name names, but she was famous.
Does Courtney have a steady hand with the needle?
It
Or no?
wasn't
It
Courtney.
wasn't
She
Courtney?
comes up in the book a lot, listeners. That's why I bring up Courtney. But it was not
Yeah.
Courtney, but it was another famous person, a famous woman. But yeah, you've got to be taught that. But what a crazy thing. Like I remember like when I stopped doing drugs at one point, I was like, I'm not even sure I'm an addict because like I don't know, like anyone could get addicted to heroin if you did it over and over. You just get addicted. Like it doesn't take an addictive personality for that to happen. And my friend was like, yeah, but it kind of seems like you're the type of person to get high, you're going to put a needle in your arm. And I was like,
Sure.
oh,
Mhm.
yeah, that's kind of weird. That's a little bit extreme, you
Have
know?
you been sober for a long time, or are you not
Yeah.
sober?
I mean, I'm not strictly sober. I was sober strictly like going to meetings and stuff for like 10 years. And then I just don't care so much anymore. I don't do anything. I don't drink. I don't ever do drugs, but I don't care a whole bunch about it.
Mhm.
Yeah. What do you think happened? Were you just tired of it?
I don't know what happened. It wasn't like the best of behavior. I remember I was on tour with Faith No More like later. And it had been a while, like almost maybe it was like 8 years sober. And I remember I was at this festival and there was it was in Denmark and there was this Ferris wheel. This is really weird. There was a Ferris wheel, and it was like the motif and the theme of the Ferris wheel, if you were to look at it as a person at the festival, was mushrooms. And I was like, what is that? And I went over and I got on the Ferris wheel and they're like, here. And they gave me a cup of tea that they made from mushrooms. It was mushroom tea, like
Mhm.
psychedelic tea. And you could ride the Ferris wheel and get high from the mushroom tea. And at that point, I'd been sober for a long time and I was just feeling kind of frisky. And I was like, all right. And I just drank the mushroom tea. And then from that point, I smoked pot a couple times. But honestly, I never went back to a problematic place. Like my drug of choice was opioids and heroin. I never went back there and I never felt the need to.
Yeah. I
Mhm.
mean, that's good. I mean,
Are you guys sober? Either one of you? Chris, you're sober.
I am, yeah. I am. That's why I'm always fascinated because I do feel like I hear these stories, people just have such different stories as time goes on. I mean, it's almost
They're
been, I mean,
so fun. You will get like my book. You'll like the read if you like. I love stories like that. It's so much fun.
no, me too, especially if the person's made it out the other side.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you guys know that? Have you ever heard that podcast Dopey? Do you know that podcast?
No.
Mm-mm.
It's all, well,
Oh,
I
it's
think I might get
really
it's
fun.
all about people talking about their like journey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's comedians also. So it's done in a really disrespectful kind of like fun way. It's really fun. I just made friends with those people recently and they're so fun. I really like them. They have a
I
good
like
attitude.
disrespectful.
Well, it looks big.
I
Yeah.
also wanted to ask you if you have you had sex with a woman, or are you a gold star?
I've had sex with a woman. You haven't read the book.
No, I haven't read the book. I didn't have time to read the book either. I've read
Courtney Love, one of them.
Yeah, Courtney was one of them. She was. We were lovers.
I knew you dated, but I had a relationship, but I didn't know if you ever took it. You never know.
Yeah, we went there. But it's funny. Like as a kid, as a young person, it feels like. I mean, as you're sort of growing up, really, as young people, as young like crazy amped up horny boys, we'll just have sex any which way we can. You know what I
Sure.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
Take what you can get.
Yeah.
Yeah, hole's a hole.
Oh my God, not like that, but kind of like that. That's disgusting. You're gross.
Not like that, but maybe a little bit
Well,
like that.
it was like, you know what I mean, though. As a kid, like you'll fuck anything.
Of course, but I don't.
Yeah.
I don't want to
To
say.
put it crassly, I'm sorry, but that's what it.
I
That's
don't
the
want
way
to say
it was.
Courtney Love is anything. I mean, I would say she's
No.
one of our most talented.
She's a step above a cantaloupe in a microwave. We'll say that.
Yeah. You sound like you're in jail. I always get in trouble. I get in trouble,
A
Roddy.
cantaloupe in a microwave. That's a thing.
That's jail shit. Yeah, you got to make.
You don't know about that one, Roddy? Come on.
Yeah, you're lying.
Uh-uh.
I mean, of course, right now the kabocha squash is more in season, but you can do
You can make it work.
I have a PDF.
I get in
could
trouble a
send.
lot, Roddy, on this podcast because I say I prefer Hole to Nirvana.
All right.
and I will stand by that.
Are you making Roddy choose between the two?
I'm not making him choose between the two. I just feel like it's a subject that we could discuss since it was, a part of his book. That's all. I would never make him choose.
My head was still like dealing with the cantaloupe, and when you said whole versus Nirvana,
I see.
I was
I
like
see.
taking it literally. I was like trying to wrap my head around whole and okay.
Nirvana
All right,
or
whole.
some
You're like
hole?
me?
Nirvana or some
You're
hole?
like, I'd fuck a cantaloupe before I have to listen to In Utero again, I guess.
I'm low-key kind of like looking in the kitchen over there, seeing what fruit's available. So gross.
See here, boyfriend's at work till 5.
I love Hole though.
Get a nice little
Hole was
butternut
so
squash.
impassioned. That was like such a fun band. Did you get into like the very first Hole record, Chris? Do you like that one? Not Live Through This, but
Yeah,
I don't remember what it's called.
I like it all. I think that Malibu is probably my all-time favorite. But I think that she just possessed
Pretty on the Inside. Is that the album?
Pretty on the inside. Yeah.
I hadn't seen that kind of power before,
Yeah.
kind of, if that makes sense. And I also have gone on to be like I love female singers. That's sort of my bag. And I realize,
do too. That's my bag.
And I realize that in a lot of ways she's the archetype for that, as far as especially defining that time period in such a clear way.
Such a force. She was so strong. She still is so strong. Like what a voice. Like not the voice, but such a person in that realm.
Mm-hmm.
That changed everything.
I don't think we have, but we're not. People don't have personalities like that anymore. They're not really allowed to.
Yeah, I don't know anyone like that.
Yeah. Do you think in our lifetime the world will sort of forgive Courtney and we will begin to respect and honor her the way that she deserves?
I don't know. I don't really see her under sort of a thumb like that. You feel like people don't really respect her now? I don't really know that.
I mean, like kind of post Kurt's death, there was always some bad energy there. A lot of people thought that she was responsible for pushing him to that level. And I know that she's had some ups and downs with drugs and some issues with other people, and she can be,
Yeah, it's funny. Like when I started, I remember like talking about stuff. If I talk about anything online and I mention Courtney or anything, like the vitriol that kind of comes my way, like I
Yeah.
see that and I see those crazy theories. But honestly, to me, it's more like it's like crazy talk. It's like conspiracy theorists, like more than anything. It's like crazy people. It's like, what are you even like saying? Like, really? You think that Courtney killed her husband? Are you serious?
Yeah, I used to think that, but I don't think that anymore. Elliott Smith, on the other hand, that.
Elliott Smith, I don't believe it for 1 second, Jason. I'm with you. She did it. No one stabs themselves. That's too far.
That is a really weird death, Elliott Smith.
It's too weird.
That's really strange.
I got too many questions.
But when you make music like that connects with people, who knows? It
think
brings
that's the
certain
problem.
things out in people.
Yeah, it does. It really does. It's a testament to how much the music connects with people, because otherwise they wouldn't act like that.
Chris, did you read the Mark Lanigan autobiography?
No, I didn't actually. I've heard a lot of good stuff about that.
That's an amazing one. That's a crazy ride. Read that one after mine.
I will.
But read it. It's so good. It's so intense.
Okay, I'll take you up on that. I've only heard good things about that, and it's fairly. I mean, I know he died.
Mark Lanigan, frontman of Screaming Trees.
But it was.
When
did that? That didn't come out that long ago, right?
Maybe 6 years ago. He didn't pass that long ago.
Yeah,
maybe he died like 4 years. Yeah,
ago.
He died in 2022.
Yeah. Okay, I was trying to. Okay. I will. I'll pick it up. I'll hit Amazon.com.
Is Jason always the one who looks up stuff on his computer? And Chris, you just kind of sit back and let him do that?
Yeah.
You know what's funny is like when I listened to you guys talk, I could tell that I was like, oh, he's like on the computer, and then Chris feels just kind of lazy, just like sitting back and just like letting it roll.
If I don't know it before we start, then I'm not going to know it while we're doing it. That's kind of
like
where
that
I'm
attitude. But that's why I think that's part of your combination. Like, Jason, you're kind of on it.
Yeah, fire and ice, yin and the yang.
Yeah.
I'm a researcher,
Fire and ice.
I like that.
You're like a pack of Dentyne, fire and ice.
But also since I talk on the pod and then I edit the pod and all that stuff.
Oh, you do.
I put myself in the head of somebody. If I was listening to this, like that's how I edit. If I was listening to this and I said this sucks, I just cut it. But if I'm listening to this and I'm like, oh, these guys just said Mark Lanigan, I don't know who the fuck that is. I will look it up and say that's the singer of the Screaming Trees. And then they'll say, who the fuck is the Screaming Trees?
Good on you. You're very efficient. Yeah. Good follow through.
But also, it's a contentious thing in my mind because in our generation and even more so yours, you would read something or listen to a band or whatever and hear a word or a name and you're like, I don't know what that is. And you would ask friends, go to a record store, go to a library, do the research and figure out who that person was. And then there's like a rewarding feeling in that versus, having ChatGPT just
boom,
shoot you out an answer instantly, or have me tell you the answer on the podcast.
Yeah.
So sometimes I like the idea of making people work for it a little bit.
Nobody wants to work for anything. Roddy, thank you.
That's how we sell underwear.
Yeah, Roddy, thanks for joining us on How Long Gone. The book, The Royal We, is everywhere you get books. And go stream Faith No More if you still make money off that. I hope you do.
I mean, kind of. It's something from a long time ago for me, but yeah, give it a go. Are you guys going to send me some Skims?
Well, you know what? Yes, I'll figure it out. I'll make it my personal mission to get you some Skims.
Yeah, we can send you some Skims.
I would love that so much.
Okay.
Are we in XL? XL in the drawers?
I think I'm an L.
Okay.
Are we sure about that, honey?
Not 100%, but I'm gonna go with L. I like a little bit of tightness. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, heard that before. All right. On that note, thank you, Roddy.
If you got a vein, show it off, brother. I'm with you, Roddy.
Thank you, Roddy.
Y'all look cool.
We appreciate it, man.
Guys.
Hopefully see you
Yeah.
soon.
See you later.
All right, later.